we're looking forward to showing you a little bit of what we do here on the farm in Port Williams. So this is David, my son. He's a 10th generation farmer here, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the dairy.
So this is our dairy barn. It was built about 15 years ago. Currently we're milking about 65 purebred Holsteins. Just a couple years ago we put in 2 DeLaval robots. We'll show you them in a little bit. They work great. Cows go in on their own, it milks them, and then they leave. It's been great for cow comfort and productivity, and they've been working really well. Right here you can see their feed bunks. It's a mixture of grass and corn silage and salt and some other goodies to make sure that we're meeting all their nutritional needs. Behind us you can see they got 3 choices they want to eat. We got stalls with straw bedding to lay down whenever they want. And yeah, back in the barn we have our dry cows. So those are all our cows that are going to be giving birth within the next week to 3 weeks. And we'll keep them there in the barn so we keep a close eye on them. And right here you can see my dog Gray, keeping an eye on the cows and make sure they don't get too much trouble.
So David, can we go see the robots work?
Yeah, let's head over there right now.
Okay, thanks. Say hello to our visitors.
We're on. So this cow is just getting ready to get milked. She's walked in here. The robot read her collar, deemed she was good to go, so it started hooking her up. So first thing you'll see is that is a washer unit. So it will go along and wash each quarter individually, get nice and clean. While she's being fed, it will, while she's being milked, it will feed her grain based on her production. And that's something to help bring them in, and it's also part of their diet. After it gets each of the 4 quarters, it will then start to hook the milking units up. So the nice thing of the robot is each quarter gets milked individually, so they each get milked out. We also get a lot of information from the cow based on their milk production, and robots will also test the milk for different levels, so we can know when they come in heat, we can know if they're not feeling well, and we just get a lot more information, and we can manage our herd on a cow by cow basis. So as you can see now, it's starting to grab the first cup. There we go. It uses a laser to find the teat. Once it locates it, we'll hook it up and then grab the next one. And then when you look up on the screen there, that will show you the milk production, it'll show you the flow rate, it'll show you the estimated production, and it'll track all the milk coming out every second. Once on, the robot will pull the tubes and wait for her to get milked out.
Take a walk inside the old dairy barn and have a look at our baby calves. So one thing at our farm is we like to make our own feed. Most of it we use corn, soybeans and wheat, and David's here by the outdoor storage and I'm going to talk a little bit about our feed.
So we have our own on-farm feed mill. We like to make all our own feed to help keep our costs down. We've had a philosophy of trying to do as much as we can ourselves. We're making about 4,000 ton of feed right now for our dairy, laying hens, pullets, and our broilers. We crop about 2,000 acres to fill our mill. So as you can see, we got all these big tanks that we store our grain in throughout the year, and then we move it into our mill as needed.
So some people might think that's a lot of tanks, and yes it is, but you have to remember we have to grow everything in the summer to feed all our cows and chickens all year round till the next harvest. Now we're going to go into the layer barn. Unfortunately we don't have any birds at the time, we're in between flocks, but we'll show you what it's like to go in the barn and how the eggs are collected. You'll see all these signs on our doors to our chicken barns with biosecurity in effect. Normally we don't allow visitors in, but today we'll be able to take you into these barns and show you what goes on. You'll note in our barns we have a dry and a clean area. So when anybody comes in, even those that work here, they change their footwear. This is important due to biosecurity, so we don't bring in any unwanted germs or bird droppings from outside and bring them into our clean poultry barns.
Use kind of our separator between our dirty and our clean. So I'll leave my outside boots there, put on my clean in-barn boots right here, and now I'm good to go in the barn. So this is our egg packer. As you can see, there's a lot of moving parts on this thing. It's opened up right now since we're in between flocks. I've been doing some service work, cleaning it up, greasing it, making sure it's all working for when we get birds in next. As you can see, we got this big yellow cross conveyor, which will bring the eggs from the chickens right here. The eggs will come in here and they get separated into 6 slots, and then they'll be dropped down into a blue tray. This will do about 6 eggs a second. So when we collect about 24,000 eggs a day, we can do it in just under 3 hours.
So 24,000 eggs a day, we heard that right?
That's right, 24,000 eggs a day. So right now when our birds are at their peak, they're laying about an egg a day for 96% of the flock. So as you can imagine, they're laying a lot of eggs, and it allows us to feed a lot of people.
We're going to head towards the chicken barns right now. Up ahead is one of our older barns. We call it barn number 3. And just behind it is a newer barn. Both are used to house broiler chickens for meat. We're going to open the door of this chicken barn and go in and take a look at the new baby chicks that are inside. Well, it was a little hard to hear inside the chicken barn with all those baby chicks going peep, peep, peep. So we're outside a new barn we're building, and David will tell us a little bit about the broilers.
So currently we have 6 different broiler barns that we raise about 850,000 chickens a year. All our chickens go to the Eden Valley Poultry plant, which is in Berwick. Because of the supply management system we have, we know that all our chickens that are being processed are all being fed out in mostly Nova Scotia, if not the Atlantic region. As you can see, this is our newest barn. The big white boxes behind me are actually heat exchangers, which will help keep the air fresh and clean, the humidity down. We will be raising about 35,000 chickens in this barn at any given flock. It's got all the newest technology to help improve conditions for the chickens and to make our lives easier as managers.
We were at the feed mill where we saw how we make all our own feed on the farm. I think we also mentioned that we grow most of our own crops. So David, do you want to talk a little bit about the crop growing?
Yeah, so we have several tractors on our farm right now. We grow corn, wheat, soybeans, peas, and grasses for all our animals. This here behind me is our air seeder. This will plant all of our peas, wheat, and soybeans. We're doing about 2,000 acres right now. Behind me we have one of our cornfields, which will be ready for harvest in October, maybe early November. We also use all of the manure and litter from all of our animals to spread on the fields to add that nitrogen and phosphorus content to help fertilize our crops. So it's a complete cycle from feed to animal to waste to back into grains. As you can see here, we also have our brand new shop we just built. As you can imagine, with all this gear that we run to grow our crops, we tend to break a few things. So we decided to upgrade our shop that can hold our equipment, and we can do as much service and maintenance work on it ourselves.
The wheat and the peas have been harvested, but these are some soybeans growing, and they'll be ready for harvest soon. You can see the little pods that contain the soybeans. Here's a look at some of the cows, the dry cows out enjoying the nice day we're having today and having a little bite of the fresh grass. Did you know that the average cow gives about 40 liters of milk a day, which would be over 150 glasses? I want to show you a few items that are from our farm. We have a chicken here, a whole chicken, which always makes a good supper. Lots of milk products in my fridge. I currently have some regular milk and some buttermilk, which is great for cooking with. Sour cream, cheese, butter. Didn't have any yogurt, but that's another great dairy product. And of course some eggs. Usually my basket of eggs is quite full, but as we're between flocks right now, I'm getting a little low on the eggs. But just some of the products you can find in your stores that come from Nova Scotia farms.